Welcome everyone. My name is Alanna. I'm the founder of Truth is One Interfaith Church, and today we are going to be talking about some of the universal truths and teachings from ayahuasca. Just to give a little bit of background about me, I have been studying various kinds of spiritual paths from all over the world for many years, both in Brazil, in Peru, in the Amazon, and in India. And I'm also a psychiatric registered nurse by formal background, and I was working in many different settings. And now I'm facilitating a variety of spiritual workshops around the world. And ayahuasca is giving all of us different teachings based on our needs, based on whatever it is that we need to understand. But all of these things have fundamental truths. So she gives them to us in different ways that we need to hear, but fundamentally they are the same. The first one, and probably the most basic and one of the most important, is a genuine connection to spirit, a genuine connection, an experience of God, an experience of the divine inside of ourselves. Many people say that they believe in God, but with ayahuasca, we can experience God. We don't need to believe in it, in anything. We just experience this truth. And with that, we also can begin to develop our own spiritual practices. We can start to let go of any kinds of traumas that we've had from our religion of origin and deeply connect with our spiritual nature that's outside of doctrine, that's outside of anything that we might have learned from our upbringing, and we can make our own connections, whether that's through nature, through prayers, through music, through so many ways. We can start to develop that, and ayahuasca is one of the ways she can teach us how to do that. Another one of the universal teachings is finding our deepest authenticity, who we are as ourselves. And this is based mostly on self-love. Most people, unfortunately, do not have real self-love because they didn't receive it as children, or so many things have happened. And this creates a false identity. We're trying to be someone. We're trying to be someone else or be like someone else. And this is creating so many problems in our lives. So with plant medicine, we can connect with our most authentic self. We can become ourselves because we can't be anyone else. And this starts fundamentally with self-love. In addition to that, we can start to find our purpose, our dharma, our sacred service, something that we were placed here on this earth to do in this incarnation that we and only we can do. And that's also part of living an authentic life, is connecting with our natural abilities, our natural gifts, and the ways that we want to give to others, how we want to be of service. Another one of these truths, universal teachings, is the experiential reality of truth. So many times we have an understanding intellectually in the mind of something. Maybe we have an intellectual idea of God. We have an intellectual idea that we need to forgive someone, or we need to live a certain way or do certain things in our lives. But we haven't embodied it, we haven't experienced it. And so ayahuasca gives us this ability to experience the truth, the reality of existence, and integrate what is in our minds and in our hearts. And this integration can be very transformative. Another one of these teachings is the opening of creativity. Creativity is the essence of our nature as human beings, and most of us have lost our connection to our innate creativity. The Western culture of education system does not support creativity. It's not given value, and ayahuasca is giving us so much inspiration to reconnect to our creative self, whether that's through music, art, dance, creation in the world, being creative about projects, creatively solving the problems that we are facing as a collective humanity. And so this is the energy that is inside of every single human being, the energy of creation, the ability to create life itself. And when we don't use this energy, or it's stagnant, this creates many imbalances and health problems and issues in our lives. And so once we tap into that and we find what is that thing that we want to create or create through, this is bringing very deep healing. Another thing that ayahuasca is showing us is the root causes of our issues. And this can be related to physical illnesses, disease, or other manifestations in the body. And medicine can teach us that these things that are manifesting physically have root causes in the mind, in the psyche, in deeper traumas. There could be things that have happened with the past, from past generations, that we're carrying wounds from our families. And this is now manifesting in our bodies, in our relationships, in so many different ways. And so medicine can show us the core issue of what needs to be addressed. Because many times only the surface issue is what we're experiencing, and many people don't know why these things are happening, or why they're encountering these particular challenges. So medicine is giving us so much insight into this. And the last thing that I will talk about today for this segment is how ayahuasca can improve our relationships. First and foremost, like I mentioned, our relationship with ourselves. This is the first relationship that we need to attend to. And subsequently, medicine shows us how we can transform all of the relationships around us. And many people have difficulty in relationships because of lack of understanding. But when we have medicine, when we have a higher spiritual perspective, we can elevate our perspective. It's literally the bird's eye view. We start to see things with so much more vastness and so much more clarity, and we can see other people, we can see their patterns, we can see their difficulties and their challenges, and we start to understand where they are and why they might have done the things that they did or said what they said to us. And we don't take it as personally, and we can find forgiveness and compassion. And this can completely transform our entire lives. And you will see with time that as you deepen your own spiritual connection and you do your own self-work, that this will transform all of the relationships around you. Even if those people are not doing any kind of self-work, your work will transform your relationships with every single person that you encounter. That's all we have for today. Thank you all so much for listening.